I'm bringing you another success story because we love success stories, right? We've all been all about stories in here this week. And I'm bringing you another story of success because I want you to be able to step into that, just like we've been talking about letting your clients step into your brand story this week. Tiina Farin went from a year of drought in her business to overflowing with clients. So welcome. I'm so glad that you're joining us. This is the first time you're joining us in the Brand Story Challenge. You have sat in this challenge, been right where these guys are, and you're coming back as a success story. So I absolutely love that. Excellent. So I would love you to just start off by just introducing yourself. Tell them a bit about, who you are and what you do.
So as Wendy said, I'm a love coach for light workers. I help sensitive, intuitive, and empathic souls find the love that is truly meant for them without getting their heart broken by men who don't deserve them anymore. Almost signed up with you more than a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, and it honestly ended up being something that I kicked myself for later. And I ended up stalking you for a few years on on YouTube and stuff, and just catching some of your videos here and there. But then when I saw you doing this brand story challenge, I took it the first time, and then I took it a second time because it was a lot. Like I got the bare bones of a story, but I didn't have my why fully formulated, and so the brand story didn't formulate, because that's what matters. And then, after the second time the brand story challenge came around, I was like, that's it. I know I have to work with Wendy this time. Like, I'm not missing this opportunity a second time.
So tell me, so before you got involved, before you did the challenge and before you got involved, like what was happening in your business or not happening?
So I mean, I've been working on my business for about 5 years now, and kind of changed niches slightly from self-love coaching to love coaching, but was struggling to get clients. I would have them here and there, and then I'd have a long drought. And after 4 or 5 years of doing that with minimal success, I mean still achievements, but minimal success, I was like, okay, I'm kind of at the point where I'm going to decide if I need to walk away completely and figure something else out altogether.
Yeah.
Or just go all in again, right? Go all in, but refreshed and with a new focus. And that's what you helped me do. Yeah, it was so, I mean, it was, there are no words to describe how amazing that process was. Like all the questions that you ask. And I know you're like, you said before, it's like, I've never written so much to write so little, but like
I've had people say that.
You have to just kind of get it all out. But just the way you have us do it, it makes so much sense. And in doing that work, I found the deepest why I've ever found. Like I've done like a similar type thing before, but the why didn't end up as deep, and it still didn't sound like me. But going through this program, it kind of, in finding that why, I was like, okay, yeah, no, this is totally what I'm supposed to be doing, and there's nothing else for me. Like, this is why I was put on this planet, and my why had to do with me before, and now it's bigger than me.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, because that's why we do. We start there with the mission and we go deep, and everyone has done this. Says, I thought I'd handled these questions before. I thought I knew who my ideal client was. I thought I understood the problem I was solving. I thought I understood the why, but I didn't understand it at this level. I didn't understand my clients at this level.
It's so true.
And then, you can't express it to other people until you get it there for yourself. Yeah. Where are you now? Where did that take you to? Because you had, I know when we spoke, you'd had like kind of a year of stepping back and going, I might even quit this business before. Yeah. After
a year of no clients, and like the year before had been my best year, but then it all just came crashing down because the foundation wasn't strong enough. And so that's why I was really trying to find if I had the courage to like try again, because I was feeling like such a failure.
Yes.
And that's, that dauntlessness, that tenacity, you have to have that. Otherwise you're not going to make it in this business. But
that's such a good point. And Lee made that yesterday, that going back, that there's so many reasons to start with your mission and your why. And one of them is to really connect for you to go, why do I care so much? Like, will I keep going when it gets hard? Why do I care? And it's not just about a pile of money. We've talked a lot in here this week about so-and-so made this and so-and-so made this. And that's because that's one way to indicate success. But that's not why everyone's doing this. It's the reason the program is called Extraordinary Impact and not Giant Pile of Money, you know? Because what you guys really want is to make that impact. And it's an extraordinary impact. It's unique to you. How you want to change the world is entirely different from how Lee wants to change the world, and Amanda wants to change the world, and how I want to change the world. And so that's what's so important. So I love that you brought that up and how that really clarified things for you.
Yeah, and it also kind of birthed even just a new offers, new business model. Like with your Start Small, Start Now, that's when I followed that, I started getting one-off clients in the beginning of the year in January.
Yes.
So I was doing readings and single healing sessions. And then those bloomed, like they referred me their friends, they referred me their friends. And so now all of a sudden it was like 3 or 4 months that I had clients every week, which I cannot say that I've ever done before.
You came into the program in October, and then January, you started getting clients consistently. So, you know, as soon as we put the words together.
Yep. And I didn't even have my brand story yet. This was just like the messaging stuff that I was able to pull from it, right? So yeah, that was just, it was amazing. I almost couldn't believe it, but I was like, okay, I guess I am doing this now.
And now you didn't do anything fancy, right? You didn't go out and build a giant thing. You didn't start doing webinars. You didn't start doing challenges. You didn't do Facebook ads. You didn't have a giant funnel. How did you?
I just shared it with the places that I already had. Like I have a small Instagram following, a small Facebook page. I was inspired by you to do my group. I renamed my group, and I'm doing, weekly master classes in there, and it's growing slowly. There are people coming in slowly. So it just, for the first time, it feels like I actually have a business, and it's not just a hobby or like a daydream. It's like, no, I have clients. This is my business. Like, this is what I do now.
And I know too, you got a couple people into your signature service, correct?
Yeah, the 6-week program. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So just kind of building and iterating and creating better models to make your work easier, more fun, more repeatable, bring in better clients, really specialize, really repeat and reuse. And as you said, to be able to raise your rates. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm starting to feel like they're still too low.
They probably are. Well, we will have to talk about that. We will have to talk about that. Absolutely. What does that mean for you now? What does it mean to be in this place versus where you were before?
At the risk of sounding cheesy, it's like a dream come true. It feels so validating. It's just a victory, and it's like I knew I could do this, and now it's like it's happening. It's finally happening.
Yeah, you were just missing that key. Absolutely. And I know that other things have happened for you along the way. I know that, for example, you wanted to go out and do videos and stuff like that, and that has been a challenge. Again, you just kept pushing yourself. And I know that you actually, I remember a while ago, you actually did an audition tape to be on a spiritual dating show as an expert, and you did that by using that same message.
Yeah, I basically gave the bare bones of my brand story, and I got a call back. Unfortunately, the show isn't happening anymore.
That's not on you.
They called me back and they were like, lovely video, Tiina. And I'm like, thanks.
So that's such a victory, not only because I know, video is something you're like, oh, I don't feel totally comfortable on video, number one, but two, then to be able to have nailed your message so clearly that it worked. So it worked. That the fact that their show didn't happen, like that's their problem, not yours, but yours worked. Yeah. That is so cool.
Yeah, and just like, how I said, I know when I've written something good, like when I read my brand story to my friends, like just to run it by them, like they go, wow. But even I go, wow. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I wrote that.
And I love that. And I love that. I mean, you guys need to hear Tiina's copy, because I know you said your copy before didn't sound like you, but like every time now, the metaphors you're using and your brand story and the phrases and everything, I'm always like, wow, you are such a beautiful writer. Like, I feel like it's just been unleashed. And
Thank you. But you're also really brilliant, and you're the one that's like pulling it out of me. And you have had some of these like crazy, mind blowing, like, you know, when you suggested to me that I should use dancing metaphor in my writing, I was like, it's brilliant.
well, because it's who you are, right? I mean, you're
Yeah.
a dancer. That's who you are. It's
Yeah.
true to you. It's how you communicate. It speaks to you. It's going to speak to your clients. And I'm like, well, you might want to play with, makes sense. And then you did. What was that phrase you had about that you use for your clients?
So I came up with, if you're a sensitive soul still waiting for that partner to dance you till the end of time, call me.
I love that. I love that. I love that. So again, one of those short pieces of copy that you can use all over the place. You can say it live. You can use it all over the place. So what would you say is like your biggest win of this whole thing? Like, what is the biggest win for you?
Oh, man.
And Erica, you should just know that Erica just said that, just gave me goosebumps.
Aw, yay. Thank you. It's not like, I would say the brand story, because that was the whole point, but it's not just that. It's the why. It's the why.
Yeah.
Like and like everything, like you said, all the other stuff you say after, like, that's why even my messaging was kind of all over the place, because I didn't have that solid foundation. And it's just so much easier to write now about anything, because it relates back to the brand story, and it's so much easier to cut out what doesn't relate. Obviously, the coaching industry is super saturated, no matter what niche you're in, right? But like, I didn't want to sound like every other love coach, and I don't anymore. Every once in a while I would, but even if I talk about the same thing, I still don't sound like them.
Yeah.
And so you really did help me figure out how I'm different.
Yeah. What would you say if they're sitting here listening right now? They've been through the brand story challenge. They went through all 5 days. They're here. They're where you were. What would you say to them now if they're like, I'm on the fence, I'm not sure? What would you say?
Wendy is a no-brainer. Just get out of your head. This is going to be one of the best decisions you've ever made. Just do it. Just do it.
There you go.
If you're serious about your business, because you need this. You need the brand story and the message. You need to know this on the level that Wendy teaches it.
So thank you so much, Tiina. I will let you go. I got to share a bunch more stuff with these guys, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and taking the time.
No problem. My pleasure. And I'm just eternally grateful for you, Wendy.
Oh, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed that. And I cannot wait to work with you.